Welcome back to the show. I am Kachi Ofia and you're watching Rise 360. So there are so many ways we express happiness, and on March 10th, 2018, something amazing happened. For Rihanna, it was by sharing a particular video. Now, what's phenomenal about this video is the songstress celebrated being the first female artist to reach 2 billion world streams in Apple Music. And she did this by posting an adorable video of some young girls dancing their hearts out to the song Norway by DJ Spinall and Wizkid, right? Well, this post, which Riri said represented her mood, had generated 2.6 million likes. Yes. And interest in who the kids were. So now on Rise 360, we want to quench that thirst and show you who exactly they are. So welcome to the studio, Dreamcatchers. I'm so happy to have you all here today. So let's get to meet you. What's your name, darling?
My name is Shola.
Shola, and you are?
My name is TTD.
TTD, you know, her name is TTD, that's really fun. So, I know your name is Shay. Shay, yes. Let's talk. I feel what you're doing with these kids is really, really amazing. So how did it all start out? Where did this whole passion for these children come from?
Basically, it started when I was young, because as a preteen, my family suffered a financial setback, and then we were on the street for some time. We didn't have anywhere to live, and then sometimes we look for churches to stay. And then I remember being a young child, I used to wish someone would help out. And at that time, I think I was kind of obsessed with Jennifer Lopez. So sometimes I'll be like, oh, I just wish J-Lo would pick me up. And I just had so many fantasies. But I mean, nobody ever came. Eventually, we had to like pick ourselves up. But once I came out of that situation, I made up my mind that I was going to help as many more kids as I could. Because it just made me realize that there will be more kids out there that wished for the same thing I was wishing for. And I just wanted to be that hope.
Wow.
To so many other kids.
That's amazing. So how did you find them? How did you find, for example, TTD? How did you find her?
So usually before I met her, I had a couple of kids I was working with, which basically what I did was I'd worked with a set before these younger ones, and some of them are in the university now.
Wow.
Yes. So I was out of the country for some time. So when I came back to Nigeria, I spoke to one of my friends that I wanted to start up what I was doing again. So I helped a couple of kids in Ikorodu. So while I was speaking to a couple of persons, someone stepped up to me and told me about someone who had lost her husband. They didn't have anywhere to live with their kids. And then, so she wanted someone that would help her. So I was like, I couldn't help all 4 kids. But at the moment, the mom was really wanted someone who could help all 4 kids. So she opted out. Then about a year later, she came back again because she had tried some other means and no one was really willing to help the kids.
I think it's never easy on that.
Yes. So then she just came back and then was like, she would really like if I could help out the kids. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll help the few ones I could.
Okay, so TTD, let's get to know you better. Tell us about yourself. What's it like dancing? How do you feel when you dance?
When I dance, when I dance, it makes me happy. And the reason why I dance is because, it brings me, I'm from poor background, so it's raised me. All the things I've never seen, stages, I don't know the meaning of stages before. I don't go to school. It's brought me back to school. I don't know some words. Now it brings, all the things I didn't know. It brought it back to me. It makes me happy. It makes me know things more about life and culture and everything.
Wow, that's amazing. What about you, my darling? When you dance, how do you feel?
I feel happy.
Yeah.
And the reason I dance because it makes me feel special from those that are learning. Because other people out there, they have things but they don't value. But me, when I dance,
they have things that they don't value, right?
But me, it challenged me to see all these big dancers, for us, Dreamcatcher to compete with others dancer group and to win them.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, I really want to know, we have a society that says, look, if you're not a doctor, I mean, you know where we're coming from.
Yeah,
if you're not a doctor, if you're not an engineer, if you're not carrying, briefcase in the morning, please, I don't want to hear anything you're saying. Go and sit down. So you're teaching them dance, and you can see the passion in their eyes. How do you think society will respond to this? How do you think their parents as well will respond to this, looking at the kind of society we're coming from?
I think that considering the amount of exposure that they've gotten recently, I think more people are open to the idea because normally people don't have a positive image about dancing. And even when I was young, my parents weren't much in acceptance of me wanting to become a dancer. But I think that as time has gone, things are beginning to change for some parents. I mean, I've had people who call me after seeing some of their videos, after the videos went viral, and they'll be like, oh, my child really wants to dance. So I think now it's just showing the positive aspect, although I feel that because of our culture, majority of parents are still like, no, and some people would prefer football, obviously, because there, people know like exactly how much you're going to earn, and it looks like it's more lucrative. But sometimes it feels like dance is, maybe it's not something that can be used as a career. But what most people are not seeing is that entertainment and the arts, especially African arts, is taking a new shape, it's taking a new face. So I think that as time goes on, people will start to understand.
Yeah. Now, I really want to know, I mean, this can't be easy for everyone. You're taking up these kids. I mean, are you a billionaire? I'm just curious. I'm trying to understand. So it can't be easy. So there must be something, like a place in your heart that tells you, see, but TTD, see this girl, you're going to be successful. Not everybody has that in them. So for you, what is that thing that just makes you so passionate about them? I mean, I saw your videos where you were actually dancing with them and teaching them. And I'm like, what kind of passion is this? So for you, where is all of that from?
I think it's from, I would say, it's from the amount of pain I went through as a child. Like,
tell us about that pain.
I mean, I remember sometimes there was this one time that I was really sick, and then because there was no money, and my dad had gone to look for money, and then there was no food, nothing, so I had to trek this really long distance.
And you were sick.
And I was sick, but I was trying to find like rice or something to eat, so I was just really trekking this long distance just to find something to eat. And and then there were times where we would sleep in a church. We would look for churches where they were doing night vigils, and then we would just sleep there. I think it's just that pain, because I believe that every child deserves an opportunity to succeed, irrespective of their background. And I was lucky because my parents are literate. We just had this setback, and my dad found a way to bring us back. But there are kids that they don't have this opportunity. All they know is the poverty, the streets that they work in, and they will probably never get
out of that. And that really is really heartbreaking. So, TTD, let me ask you another question. So what would you like to be when you grow up?
I'd like to be an author.
An author? Why?
Like, it will make me like more sensible.
It will make you more sensible. So if you were supposed to say, okay, which author amongst all the authors that you know, like the ones you've seen on TV or the ones that they've told you about, if you were to say, okay, there's this one that I like, do you have anyone that you like?
Yes, but I don't know the name.
Okay, what about you, darling? What would you like to be when you grow up?
A dancer.
A dancer? So is there any dancer you've seen that you say, Siva, this dancer will dance better than you one day?
Yes.
Who?
The lab.
What?
The lab.
The lab. Why?
It's because when they dance, I feel like when they dance, like they challenge me.
They challenge you. So I want to ask you guys a question. Now, you see, you come from a place that, you know, it's very different. A lot of people will come out of there and say, you know what, I don't feel like becoming anything that makes sense. Let me just, you know, trouble the streets. Let me become a bad person, that kind of thing. So I want to know, if you're looking at other children, they are watching you right now, they are saying, kids on TV, wow. They're looking at you like celebrities. What would you like to say to them if they're coming from the same background that you're coming from? It hasn't been easy for them, but they need someone to just make them feel better. What would you say to them?
What I would say to them is just that if you are doing something, keep on trying, because you don't know, it might lead you to a successful way. You might succeed, but just keep on trying. Don't give up. Don't give up. How does your family feel about you dancing? You know, how do they feel? Are they excited? Like, they don't expect it. So really? Oh, that's amazing. What about you? If you were to say something to the people out there, what would you say to them? People like you who need hope and passion as well to do something that they love.
Also, they should keep on trying and that they can get to their destination, and also they should stay in school and if they see new things, other things to see, that they should learn it more so they can challenge them and get to their destination. And all my family, even they see me dancing, they feel excited, and they didn't expect me that this kind of thing happen, because I have some financial problem that many times I've asked to me, but by God's grace, God have power over me. And you were able to get out of those problems that you were in and find joy, right? Yes. All right, now, Sheyi, before we get into the very amazing surprise that we have for everybody else, I must say that they all have beautiful stories, but I really, really want to know, at the end of the day,
you know, what happens next for them? You know, I mean, we've seen a lot of this type of thing. We've seen people say, me, I'm an NGO, this is what I do, this is what I... And then the next thing you know, they pick up these kids and then they just abandon them at some point in time. So a lot of people are looking at these dream catchers like, we want to see what they turn out to be. So what is the bigger picture for them?
I mean, for me, basically, it's to, like I said earlier, to give them the opportunity to succeed. Because what I always tell them is now you guys have something that other kids would never have. 10 years from now, if we all keep working hard, if you step in somewhere and say, oh, I was a member of the Dreamcatchers, my belief is that it will change the mindset of whoever you're speaking to. If you walk into an interview and you say, oh, yeah, I was a member of the Dreamcatchers, I mean, automatically, whoever you're sitting in front will feel honored that you are even stepping into their space. So that's basically what it is, right. Just for them to have their big dreams.
Okay, well, my darlings, I think it's official. You people are more famous than me because Rihanna has, you know, seen you and she hasn't, you know, said hello to me. But anyways, I'm really proud of you both.
Thanks.
And you as well, TTD. Bam! All right, now there's been so much talk about these kids, but you know what? That surprise we spoke about earlier, it's coming right up after this break. Keep on watching. You're welcome back to Rise 360. I'm your host, Kachi Ofia. Now, there's been so much talk about these kids. I mean, even Rihanna thinks that they are an entire mood. Now, I thought, you know, it would be really great to show how much they inspired us by dancing for you. I'm just joking. I would not torture you to that view. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dreamcatchers. Turn to do my thing. It's a joke. I'm not dancing. Anyways, we're going to take another short break now, but do stay tuned to Rise 360. Thank you so much, Dreamcatchers. Now, coming up, we'll be going straight into film and television. Don't go anywhere.